So to make a giraffe puppet, you will need some scissors, card, big pen, some wadding, a sock, googly eyes, a pipe cleaner, some fabric scraps, and some PVA. So the first step is making our palette, and for that we want to draw a nice kind of large oval shape that we're going to cut out of our bit of card. So once that's drawn, just a quick cut. This palette is going to go inside the sock and help shape our giraffe's mouth. Okay, once that's cut out, you just need to place it in your hand, and usually your palette needs to bend at the same point as where your thumb and hand bend. So that's, I like to position it like so, and then do my fold. So that's our palette. Now I'm going to stick that inside a sock. So I've chosen a pretty yellow looking sock because, as we know, giraffes are yellow. So what I'm going to do is grab my palette, leave it closed, and then just push it up into my sock. Once I've got it into the tip, I open out the bottom end and I slot my heel into the mouth. So we'll end up with something that's looking a little bit like this. Next, we take some wadding and we separate a little bulb out. And that's what we're going to use to make our giraffe's nose and the top of his head. So just gently shape it until you get something that looks like a nice kind of roundish oval. And then scrunch it in your hand and push your hand into your sock. And push it over the top of your cardboard palette toward the nose. There you go. Now once it's in there, you can just spread it out a little bit. And in order to get a nice nose shape like our giraffe, what I've done is used a bit of PVA and then pinched the wadding. So I'll show you how we do that. Boom. I'm going to start by pushing that around. Now I'm going to grab a bit of PVA glue. And be generous here. Put some inside the nostrils and on the back and pinch. Now, if you give this a bit of time, you can let go and it will dry into a nice shape for your nose. Great. So while that's drying, I'm just going to show you how we make some ears. Take a little scrap of fabric. I'm very lucky that this already had a little zigzag cut out of it, but if you'd like to do an effect like that, then just take your scissors and snip at an angle. And then snip in the opposite direction, and you'll end up with a little zigzaggy edge, which is very nice. Little detail for your giraffe. All I needed to do was cut some strips that are little rectangles and match them up so that they're roughly the same size. Now once I've got these two, I take a little bit of PVA and run it along the top and pinch them together so that I get a nice shape in my nose. So smear a bit of PVA up there. And fold these together and wait for them to dry. And that's how we make our giraffe ears. Great. Now while these guys are drying, I'm just going to show you how we make these strange little bumps that go on the top of a giraffe. Got some kind of weird horns that never seem to grow out of their heads. I take a pipe cleaner, fold it in half, and then I start twisting it from the loop end, like so. And I twist it until it goes all the way down to the bottom. It gets nice and thick. Okay, once I've got that shape, I fold it in on itself and do another little twist. And then fold it in on itself again and do another little twist. This gives me two nice, thick, lumpy bits. And then I've still got this area down at the bottom that I can glue to the top of the giraffe's head. Our next step is to glue all of the bits and pieces that we've got to decorate our giraffe onto our sock. So I'm going to start with the ears. Pop a little bit of PVA on each ear, and then all you've got to do is find the very kind of back of your palette and stick it to that bend. Now remember that PVA takes a little while to dry, so you're going to want to leave this nice and still for a little while. Okay. A bit of PVA on your horns, and they go in between the ears like so. Just hold it there a sec while it glues. Great. And next I'm going to glue on our eyes. So being really generous with our PVA, just position your eyes a little bit further up from your nose than you'd expect. And that is our giraffe nearly done. While our current giraffe is drying, I'm going to look at our pre-made giraffe, and as you can see inside, I've gone and stuck another little bit of material that I've cut out in a kind of tongue shape and stuck to the bottom of the palette. And that is our giraffe ready to go.
So once I'm all dried, all you've got to do is slip your hand inside me, and that is how you make a giraffe.